Welcome to the story of a farmer. His dreams, his tears, and his journey from drought to destiny. My name is Ramesh. I am a simple farmer from a small village in India. Our village is surrounded by green field, tall trees, and a narrow road that connect into the nearest town. My family has been farming for generations. My father and grandfather also were farmers. They used to say that farming is not just a job, it is a way of life. I grew up watching my father working in the hot sun, sweating but never giving up. Even when the crops failed, he smiled and said, Ramesh, one day our land will give us more than we expect. We must have faith. When I was a child, I never understood what he meant. I thought farming was simple. You put seed in the ground, add water, and wait. But life taught me that farming is much more than that. It is full of challenge, uncertainty, and hope. I was the eldest son in my family. I had two younger sisters and one younger brother. Our family lived in a small mud house with thatched roof. We did not have much money, but we had love and togetherness. My mother was the strongest woman I have ever known. She woke up before sunrise, cooked food for us, and helped my father in the fields. Even when there was no rice left in the kitchen, she never complained. When I turned 20, my father became sick. He could not work in the field anymore. The responsibility of the whole family came on my shoulder. At that time, our lands was dry because there was no rain for months. The government had promised to build a canal, but it never reached our village. I used to walk to 2 kilometers every day to fetch water from a small pond. That water was not clean, but it was all we had. One day, when I was plowing the field with our old oxen, I saw cracks in the soil. The earth was thirsty. I felt helpless. I looked at the sky and prayed for rain. But the clouds passed by without dropping a single drop. Our crops started to die slowly. I still remember the pain in my mother's eyes when we could not harvest anything that years. We had to sell our gold bangles and even our cow to repay the money lender. That year I realized the true meaning of a struggle. I could not sleep at night. I kept thinking I also fail like my father. Is farming only about suffering? But then I remembered his word, never lost faith. Those words became my strength. I decided learn a new method of farming. One day a government officer came to our village conduct a small meeting about modern farming technique. Many farmers ignore him, but I attend the meeting. I learned about drip irrigation, organic fertilization, and crop rotation. I did not understand everything, but I noted down all the points carefully. That night, I could not stop thinking about it. I wanted to try those techniques, but I had no money, so I went to the town and met a small banker. I requested for a loan under the Kisan Yojana. At the first, he refused because I had no guarantee. I begged him and told him about my plan. After many visits, he finally agreed to give me a small loan. With that money, I bought good seeds, a few pipes for irrigation, and some organic compost. Everyone in the village laughed at me. They said, Ramesh, don't waste your money. This modern farming will not work here. But I did not care. I worked day and night watering the field drop by drop. I covered the soil with dry leaves to keep the moisture. I used cow dung and natural waste to make compost. Slowly, and the plants started to grow. After 2 months, my field looked green. For the first time in many years, I saw life returning to the land. My heart filled with happiness. When the crops were ready, I took them to the market. The trader looked surprised and said, Ramesh, this is the best yield I have seen this season. That day, I earned more money than ever before. When I come home with the money, my mother cried not out of sadness but out of joy. She said, your father would have been proud of you. I felt tears in my eyes too. I realized that success does not come overnight. It comes from patience, hard work, and belief in yourself. But my journey did not end there. The next year, I wanted to help other farmers in my village. I shared my knowledge with them. Some listened, some did not. I told them how drip irrigation saved water and how organic compost improved the soil. Slowly, a few farmers started following my method. Together, we formed a small group called Green Hope Farmers. We worked as a team. We bought seeds together, sold crop together, and shared profit equally. Within 2 years, our entire village changed. The lands that was once dry became full of life. Children could go to school, family could eat 2 meals a day, and people started smiling again. The same government officers who once ignored our village came back to see our success. They clicked photo, wrote reports, and praised us in the newspaper. But for me, the real happiness was seeing my village grow. One evening I sat under the banyan tree near my field. The sun was setting, painting in the sky orange. I looked around. The field were green, children were playing, and the sound of laughter filled the air. I remembered the days of hunger, pain, and tears, and I realized something deep struggle are not curse, they are lessons that make us stronger. Year passed, I became known as a successful farmer. People came from nearby village to learn from me. I never charged them anything because I believe knowledge should be shared freely. I started a small training center for youngest farmer. I told them don't run away from your village. You can change your life here itself if you have courage. Now, when I look back, I feel proud but also humble. I still wake up early, touch the soil, and thank God for giving me the strength to never give up. My name is Ramesh, and I am still a farmer. Not a rich man, but I am happy who learned that success grows from struggle. Moral of story. Never lose faith in yourself no matter how hard life becomes. The seeds of success always grows. Soil of struggle, you just need patience, belief and hard work. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more heart-touching stories. Your one click gives life to another story.